We're talking to Mr. James Settles, the founder and the executive director of Atheist House. And of course, Mr. Settles, let's continue our the conversation from our first segment by having you to perhaps address one of the real problems that we find among our young people today. And I think it goes back to what you described as your own personal mentality. That is to get rich or die trying. And I say that because that's a very, very popular concept in the movie and et cetera that a large number of individuals are sort of attracted to. And so let's talk about it from that perspective.
Yeah, well, I think in a lot of ways, I think a lot of it has to do with our mentality and the way that we think. And that's one of the things that we address at Ephesus House. A lot of it is the way we dress. Part of our dress code at Ephesus House is no braids, plaits, nor sagging, things of that nature. Because what happens is a guy can try to go and get a job. And when he try to go and get a job like that, they're not going to tell you that they're not going to give you a job for because of the way you're wearing your hair or because of the way you're dressed. They're just not going to give you a job. And so you go back and there you are sitting and wondering why you can't get any work. And one of the things, not only do I talk about it, do we stress it at Ephesus House, but even when I go to the institutions, I go to the institutions a lot myself and counsel with guys, and also and one of the things that I noticed, you got a lot of guys that are tattooed up, that are grilled up, and different things like that. Well, a guy, he wants to complain about saying that he can't get a job at McDonald's. I mean, at nowhere but McDonald's. But if you really want to try to get in management, nobody wants you in management with no braids or with no grill. And I think the tragedy is the message that we send, and I'm not hating on people that do rap music or anything of that nature. And I think when I say that, I say the tragedy is this guy, he can tattoo his body up and wear the grill because you're going down there buying his CDs. Well, most young people, you know, they're imitating this and they can't even get a job because they're starting from ground level. So I think we really have to be careful not only about the messages that we're sending, but I think we as parents, we have to watch what we're allowing our children to grow into, because see, I've come in contact with so many people that say that it's just a phase that they'll grow out of it. Well, you don't grow out of stuff, you grow into stuff. And so, you know, it's almost like allowing a kid to, whether it's tattoo his body up or wear his clothes any kind of way, you know. Because see, all that says something about him. That trail, I mean, really, and I say this with all honesty, that I went and talked to some football players at this high school, and when you graduate from high school, those are the most critical years from high school to maybe 21 or 22 in your life, whereas most people say, man, I done graduated from high. Well, really, it just began, because what you're doing then is you're setting a standard for the rest of your life from that point on. And so I just think that we have to be really careful about the stuff that we allow to, that seems so innocent, you know. Right now, I know even myself, I've had got two boys, and both have graduated from college, and they still have a curfew if they're going to be in my house, because I can't be responsible for a young man running, ripping and running the streets all times of the night and allowing the blood to be on my hand about a situation like that. So I just think it's very important about how we communicate to our young people, and especially my generation. I really believe that we have done our young people such a disservice by not being the proper role model that we should have been. And I really, I am really sad about that, and that's one of the reasons why I dedicate my life to doing what I'm doing today. been in business over 11 years after I got out of prison in 1993.
Yeah.
And when I got out, I started going back into the institution, and most guys be like, man, there's no way I'll be coming back in here after staying incarcerated over 8 calendar years, and you're coming back. Well, one of the things that the Lord was dealing with me about is that he who is greater of most must be servant of most. And what I mean by that is I think God delivers us from things, and he don't just deliver us from things to constantly buy bigger houses and bigger cars. I think he delivers us from things so we can reach back and try to share with others that there's a way out. And when I say that, I struggle with drugs and alcohol, and started off trying to sell drugs, but ended up getting caught up. But I'm thankful that I can honestly say that I haven't used drugs since 1986, and I think that's part of me trying to really stay focused to what is really happening. It's almost like, you know, I've talked to a lot of people that we act as if it's just a black thing, but it's really it's a human thing, man. It's not just black people. It's a human race deal, and I think I'm always reminded of Dr. King. You know, him and Malcolm X was having that conversation, and he was just so caught up in the human race, and I just think that's where we have to be, because you know, it's not just about the black kid, but it's about any kid that is coming up in a dysfunctional environment, and you being able to mentor and give some guidance to. And when I say that, I believe that every time that we come in contact with a person, that we are affecting them for the good or the bad. And I think that it's our job to really be a light, whether it's being that light to any man, woman, and child that we come in contact with.
Very good. And you know, of course, Mr. Settles, we're getting ready for our second commercial break, after which we'll come back and have a third segment, and we'll allow you to continue this conversation. But I think essentially that's the kind of information we want, and we would also like to have some information during this third segment in reference to the house that you've established and some of the things that our audience might do in order to assist you. And we'll be back with you following this very, very short commercial break. We're talking to Mr. James